Limitless Hoops people, how you guys doing, man? I've been doing this show for like years upon years upon years. Has it grown like I wanted it to grow? No, but has that really surprised me? Not really. Alright. I know for a fact that there's only so many great players out there, and you know my opinion of great players. Alright, great players are not always the 7-footers. Great players are not always the best on their 6th grade basketball team. Great players don't always make the NBA. Some horrifically bad players make the NBA. And I don't mean like bad in terms of skill. See, so I'm not counting that. I'm talking about like bad in terms of like them maximizing their potential. All right, I just want to drive that point home with you. All right, is that I don't expect that many kids to be able to do all this. All right, but I do want to provide. So in a way, and I always say this, I'm like a library. All right, no one is ever going to come into a library and read every single book and become like a genius. No one. I mean, except for like maybe a genius. Okay, but should we have everything available to us? Yeah. And I think that kids didn't have everything available to them when I was growing up, and that really like irked me in a way because I needed more. I wanted more, and I didn't have more. And maybe I was a special kid who like needed a bunch. I don't know. All right, but I was willing to go down certain paths, and I had to do it alone. I had to figure things out alone, and I didn't always like do it the correct way. I wasn't incentivized to like shoot 500 shots a day because people around me weren't really doing that. And the kids that were, it was like, it didn't really matter because I was better than them anyways. So it's like, we want to be on teams where everyone's better than us so that we can push ourselves. But we have to hope that those people are also working out more than us. That's like the ultimate way, is to be on a team where everyone's already better than you. You're given a chance to still be on that team, and those kids happen to work their butts off, and you have the same access that they have. It's probably not going to happen. All right. What up, Mello? All right. And what normally happens is that the best players don't work as hard as the lower players, and the lower players wouldn't become as good as the best players. All right. And that's why you want to put yourself in a position where you're like, oh, I want to be the lowest player, so I want to work as hard as them. But you don't want to be on a bad team either, because then you would be way too low, and then you'll find out that, oh man, I can't make it to the highest levels. Stop thinking about all that. You're overthinking it. All you have to do is become your best, because that's all that you could ever do. It's just that you have to have confidence in who you are and be okay with the fact that your best may not be as good as Shaquille O'Neal, and that's okay. All right. So, and if you could think that way, who knows? Maybe you might surpass Shaquille O'Neal. All right, just because you thought in a positive mindset. So when people join and I always want to just warn them. I want to be like, you're not sticking around. Come on now. All right, but they come at me so seriously. They're like, yes, I want this so bad. And it's like, no, you don't. Just say that you want some fun and we can have some fun. All right, so the end result of this is we need 2 teams. All right, we need 2 teams per level like we had in California, so we need more players. It's going to be hard to get to the more player level until we get some volunteer coaches, so that's why I'm going to be pushing for that. Once we get 2 teams, then we get to say, do you want to be on the elite team where we treat you differently, and you have to show up to like everything that we do, or do you want to be on the regular local team where you can kind of just do whatever you want as long as you pay us? All right, so we want 2 different levels, because then you could be like, then you could feel special for just being on this team, as opposed to feeling special because you scored 50 points in a game, or feeling special because you got all the attention. Now, we're going to give you a different type of attention, and that attention will be for your hard work, where it belongs. Now, with that said, when you do miss things, you end up being like Joey. Oh man, I know Joey's our leader in attendance right now, but dude, Joey missed out on something, and I don't know if he's ever heard it before, and we're going to talk about it today. So if Joey's not watching this show right now, and he doesn't show up to the practice tonight, he's screwed. So, like, when do we get over all this stuff? We have so much stuff to teach you and only so many hours to do it in. So we have 60 minutes to teach you all this stuff a day, and we go over this stuff between 13 and 18 weeks. So how are we supposed to teach it all to you when you don't show up all the time? So if you miss one day, you're kind of screwed. And this particular play was Joey guarding the out-of-bounds person. And I was trying to tell him how to do it during the game. He didn't know how to do it. All he had to do was stand in the right spot, and he didn't understand it. Now we're busy teaching him how to shoot a layup, how to shoot a jump shot, how to do all this other stuff. But he missed this part. Now when we go over it, I'll be sure to point it out. But it's just baseline out of bounds defense, and it's where you stand. So I'll be going over it today. If you can't stick around to learn that, you'll be in the same position possibly. Now it's kind of confusing, but not if you heard it. And if you hear it just once at practice tonight, maybe you needed to hear it during the show. If you hear it during the show and you're not showing up to practice, well, then you need it maybe both places. If you just happen to get it, then you're lucky. All right, and probably you won't be lucky on so many things. So today's baseline out of bounds drill is for Joey. And I know Joey's not watching the show, so he still won't learn this. Hopefully he shows up tonight. Hopefully he gets it in the... How many minutes do we have to do? 6 different drills? 10 minutes apiece. All right? 10 minutes apiece. And if you can't understand it in 10 minutes, the best that I try to teach you, well, then you should have done it before, or you should do it afterwards. That's all I can tell you. Because we won't go over it again for another 2.5, 3 months. All right, that's why it's so hard, because we're trying to teach you guys everything. We only have so much time. All right, so try to pay attention, try to get the stuff, and then if you're not working your extra time, that's bad. All right, so heads up for all the stuff. Our quote of the day is never forget about your passion. All right, there's something that drove you to want to be in the NBA, whether it was like watching an NBA game, scoring a basket. For me, just like hitting a random shot in 3rd grade. But the first shot that I ever threw up went in. But whatever your true passion is, don't forget about it. Don't forget what started you down that path. All right. So because that's what will propel you over all the nonsense. Because you're gonna hit a road one day, or hit a wall one day, where you're gonna forget about why you started out. All right, and you're just gonna be like, I'm done with this. I'm done. But if you can keep reigniting that flame on a daily basis, then you have a chance to reach those heights that you want to reach. Because after those depression times, when you're like, I don't want to go anymore, guess what happens like 3 months later? You get hyped again by some game, or by some like girl who like basketball players. I don't know. All right, and then you're like, but then you lost 3 months. It goes up and down like this. And during the downtimes, if you can work harder during the downtimes than you did during the uptimes, that's how you get there. You're not going to feel like it every single day. But if you carry this inside your pocket, you carry this passion, or like the reason why, you carry your why inside your pocket, you'll be good to go. So that's the quote of the day. 5-word quote of the day. Never forget your passion. Moving on to our highlight of the day. Speaking of passion, man, this guy right here. What is his name? His name is, I want to say his name right, Hansel Emmanuel is his name. The one-arm basketball player, averaging just as many points as I scored in college a game. All right, maybe the same amount of rebounds too. Man, he's killing me. All right, and I played more minutes than he did. Oh yeah, this guy's a killer. All right. So, wait, what does that say? 85% field goal? How's that possible? I guess he doesn't shoot that often, but yes, this guy is killing it. All right, if he didn't have like big hands, there's no way he would be able to do all this. But man, he's missing one arm and he's figuring it out. Tip dunk. Watch your head. Watch your head. All right. These highlights are inspiring for so many reasons. Is that tip dunk again? Oh, no. Look at that. Caught it, looped it, gone over that guy. I mean, all these 2-armed freaks can't stop this guy. All right. Whoever thought that he couldn't do it was absolutely wrong, because he's absolutely doing it. That's just perseverance. That's dope. So congrats to this dude. Hopefully he keeps going. He's playing for Austin, PA. I played against that school my freshman year in college. It's crazy, man. Amazing. I could watch it all day, but I won't. Moving on to Did You Know? Did you know that out of all the career triple doubles, Russell Westbrook has 199, looking for that 200. Jokic has 135. Eric Gordon has 2. Jamal Murray has 1. But that's not the cool part. The cool part is this. These 2 added up These two added together represent 10% of all the triple doubles in NBA history. These two guys have 10%. Do you know what that is? That means that, like, okay, the NBA has, like, how many people does it have? Like 400 people, okay? All right. How many people have ever played for the NBA? Like thousands, okay? All right. If there were only, I have to do the math correctly. If there were only 20 players ever to play in the NBA, this would make sense. They would have their share of triple doubles. But no, it's not 20 people. It is thousands of players to ever play, and these two have 10% of the triple doubles. So putting those guys on the same team, that is a very, 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 very versatile team. I know that Russell Westbrook is getting older. I know that it's Jokic's team, things like that. But the capabilities of this, all right, the capabilities of this, being able to, like, not just dominate the game in one way, not two ways, but three different ways, and you have multiple guys doing that, you don't know how the team will come at you at any given night. So that means if they're off shooting, they can do something else. If they're off rebounding, they can do something else. So basically, they're coming at you from so many different ways, and it may not pan out this year, but it's still a neat stat. Did you know that? I got itinerary for the day, and this is the part where I was talking about Joey. We got the clap game today. I love the clap game. We don't do it enough, man. So bringing that back, it's when I throw you the ball, you clap and catch it. Easy enough, right? All right, but if you don't clap and catch it, you're out. Have a seat. All right, if I fake it at you and you clap and the ball doesn't come to you, you're out. Have a seat. If I throw it to you, you clap, try to catch it, but then you drop it, you're out. Have a seat. So it's only one way to stay in the game. That's if you clap and catch the ball. All right, and we do this for a reaction time. We do this to be able to catch. I really hope that Queen comes for this practice, man, because Queen can't catch a regular pass. This might inspire her to learn how to do that. Throw the ball against the wall, practice with yourself, or maybe have your parents throw this to you. It's a good drill to practice on, but because, like, being able to react to stuff is an enormous basketball tool. So we will be doing that for some part of Open Gym tonight. Then one-on-one mid-post, that's facing the basket, and mid-post is not the post area, not the three-point line, but right in between that area. I'm gonna give you guys one dribble max, and you have to, like, make it count. Basically, it's the Carmelo Anthony offense. All right, it's turning and facing, or like Michael Jordan was very, very good from the mid post as well. All right, being able to score from that middle range, it puts the defense in a tough spot because they can't double team you. They just can't, and you're now on the 3-point line. You're at, like, easy bucket territory. So it's like, what do we do? What do we do? It's a very, very, like, vulnerable spot in the defense. I know you guys love chucking up threes, but this is, like, worth a ton if you can figure this out. Other ones that we have was 2-on-1 break, going in with two against one, and then passing the ball and then restarting it. It's a very, very fun drill. Hopefully we have enough to do that. We need 7. All right, then we got flares, talking about flares. When we come off the screen and then read it and come off the opposite way. Baseline out of bounds defense, which I'll show you in a second. 5-second count extension. All right, 5-second count extension. That's if you're holding the ball for 4 seconds. Instead of getting a 5-second call, all you got to do, you don't have to pass it. You just have to dribble. I don't think people know that. Did you know that? All right, all you have to do is dribble, and then they restart their count. First, they're counting with this arm. Then they switch arms. When they switch arms, that's them restarting their count. I love to explain this because kids just don't know, right? And then they'll restart their count. Then once you start dribbling and they get to 4 again, you don't have to pass it or drive or even separate. You just have to pick the ball up. And then they start counting again. They will switch arms again. So you really get 12 seconds. All right, and since every single play that you guys do averages about 7 seconds, that's holding the ball longer than anyone has ever held the ball in youth basketball ever. So you're good to go. You have time. All right, but understand that so that you're not throwing the ball away. There's no need to throw the ball away. 4 to 9 seconds, down by 3. If there's 6 seconds to go, we're down by 3. We got to make our. No, this is not with free throws, but we're down by 3. 6 seconds to go, and we have the ball. All right. Do we need to score right away? Do we need a 3-point shot? I would say yeah. This is not time to go in for a 2. All right. I think if there's under 10 seconds, you just don't go for a 2. Unless you have one, like, immediately, and you can foul, then like maybe, but the time's waning down. I would say definitely it's time to go for a three-pointer, but you don't need to chuck anything up. I say get a good three-point shot, penetrate because you can score quick too, but then maybe set a screen for someone coming out for a three-point shot. But that's what you want to do for that. If you happen to miss it, everyone's crashing the boards. No one's trying to get back. Figure that out. 5-on-5, oldest versus youngest. We may not get to that because we don't have enough of to split a team. But when you're facing older players, fight. When you're facing younger players, smash them. That's the basic gist of this. All right. Now let's get to that baseline out of bounds that I was talking about. All right. My strategy page. All right. So we're here, baseline out of bounds. All right. I'm gonna have the ball being taken out by this fella right there. Okay. All right. And when that guy's taking the ball out of bounds, all right, this guy right here is very, very important. He does not stand here. He doesn't even stand there. He stands here. And he wants to protect the entire basket, okay? Now, the spot that he protects, let me get this spot taken care of here. The spot that he protects is this spot right there. It's like he's a goalie. So there's no passes that will get by you on that side, okay? Please understand that you're very, very important. You can't be standing somewhere else and allow all this inside stuff to happen. If you're there, everything is good to go. Now, as for the rest of them, where do we play defense? How do we guard these people? Where do we stand? All right, where was Joey the other day? All right, so that's where he stands. For these guys, you want to not stand on the backside because obviously he can just get the pass even with that defense right there. All right, that's where we catch ourselves sometimes, somehow on this side. Obviously, you want to be in between them and the ball. Okay, so let's just put everyone in between them and the ball to just begin with, okay? Between them and the ball makes a lot of sense. But now he can just slip right there because, I mean, the basket's right there. You kind of want to be between him and the basket as well. So I would say for these inside guys, it would be between them and the ball, but also between them and the basket. So you're making a little bit of a triangle here. Your arm is in between them and the ball, but your body's in between them and the basket. Okay? And I would say the same thing for him, right? You might say the same thing for him and him, except if this guy is right here and he gets screened like this, he doesn't see the screen coming, okay? So this is the funny part about it. We want to play on this side, and we do allow him to go to the basket. For this guy, not so much because he's so close. For this guy, not so much because he's so close. So this guy can play like that. But if you're on the top side, you would also be right there. Can he just slip right here? I suppose, but not with him guarding the basket, with his hands up. All right, that's why he's there. So you want to be facing as many screeners as you can possibly see. So for this guy, he can see these guys, and he wants to be facing them. This guy can also play like that, honestly, on the outside, but watch that pass. So I would stay on the inside since it's so close. But if you can, you want to play slightly on the outside, force in middle, but just watch out for that screen. That's why when we set screens up, we actually want to step out first and then go up so we can blindside this guy. Because not every defense is perfect. So these are the spots that I want you at. We'll briefly talk about it tonight. But understand, you should see the screens while staying in between your man and the ball in the basket. You want to do all those things. And you will have to compromise something. You're not going to be able to stay perfectly between them and the ball, perfectly between them and the basket, and be able to see every single screen. So you got to figure out which one you can get the most of. It's a very complicated thing. I don't fault Joy for messing it up, but he was super sad. All right. And we'll be right back after these messages with our trivia question. Water break!
Why don't they know about Mendoza sewer and water?
reason for me to play that, but I love playing it. What country is the NBA's tallest player from? That is the trivia question of the day. What is it? We got Fonz Fave, Henry Forsyth with 1 point apiece. If you answer it correctly, you get the point for the day. What country is the NBA's tallest player from? That's kind of not the NBA's current tallest player ever. Okay, it might be the current player. I don't know. He might be from America. Don't put that out of the wheelhouse. You're thinking, was it a foreigner because he asked what country? Doesn't have to be. I'm not really from this country. I'm from Taiwan, baby. All right. Yes. Ni hao. All right. But yes, what country is the NBA's tallest player from? You have until the end of the show to answer it. I will be here until the end of the show. And next up, we got our story of the day. Watch. If it's not naturally fun to challenge yourself, then you're extremely unlucky in that you're missing out on a crucial component of what has assisted the greatest to become great. So try your best to have fun when frustration, stress, soreness, and exhaustion make it seem as though having fun is an impossibility. That is the answer. Romania is the answer. His name is George Luis Murasan. No, I'm sorry, that's not his middle name. But George Murasan is his name. He's an enormous fella at 7'7", and he's from Romania right there, folks. Great job with it. Mello got the answer correct. I'm adding that to your score, Mello. Great job, buddy. All right, so, yes, could you imagine being that tall, dude? That's crazy. That is crazy. But as for the story, all right, if it's not naturally fun to challenge yourself, then you're extremely unlucky in that you're missing out on a crucial component of what has assisted the greatest to become great. So try your best to have fun when frustration, stress, soreness, and exhaustion make it seem as though having fun is an impossibility. It reminds me of school with the kids that love to read. They had a unique advantage over the rest of us that didn't love to read. It's like the homework was to read, but you love doing it. Imagine if they made the homework shoot 500 shots. I mean, John got an A. Where are you at, kid who hates basketball? It's like, no, it's not fun for you, right? So, or like, I don't like chocolate. Imagine it just being like, eat as much chocolate as you can tonight, fellas. And I didn't eat that much. And you're like, you didn't do the homework, John? I'm like, I hate it. I'm sorry. All right, you missed it by a little bit, Chacon. All right, Romania is the answer, though. But I got Mello with the answer first. But yes, if you happen to love hard work, then you're good to go. I love doing puzzles. I also love debating. And some people hate both those things. They're like, that confuses me. Or when there's like an argument that breaks out, they will just be like, I want to leave the room. I don't like this. And I'm like, oh, I love this. All right, so if you happen to love working out and happen to love being frustrated, you happen to love being frustrated, love being challenged. Like you see our challenge page and you know that you're going to suck at those things and you're like, yeah, if that's you, you're going to be great automatically. But chances are it's not you. So you have to pretend that it's you. You have to force yourself. You have to trick yourself into these things. Okay? So I think that's our biggest trick that we could possibly teach you is to love the hard work. Not like it, not endure it, like love it, need it. So when I make it too easy, you go, excuse me, coach, you didn't run us today. Excuse me, coach, we won by 20. What was that crap? I'm trying to make the NBA, dog, and you got us playing against these wisecrackers? Nah. I want to play against them over there. Those guys over there. That 7-footer over there. Yeah, that huge guy over there. The monster who dunks on everyone. I don't want to play him. Okay, Joey, we'll put you against the 7-footer. Cool. All right. That's what I want you guys to be like, because that's when you'll be great. So trick yourself into not just enduring it, but not just liking it, but loving it. Like to the very, very extent of who you are. All right. And if you aren't that kind of guy, you're probably like this guy right here, because Cat.
Halliburton inside. Turner.
They say that Cat hates to play defense. All right. They say that my man, he's not my man. Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, sucks at defense. They say that out of all the shots against Cat inside the key, 95% of them, 85%? Can't be 95%, is it? What is it? No, 91.4% of the time the ball goes in. So that means if you were being guarded by Karl Anthony Towns and you drove against him, you have a 91% chance to make the shot. That is mind-boggling, and this guy is saying it's not true. This guy is going, look, I put all the clips together of people not scoring on him. They're like, I don't know where they get this from. So if you heard that Karl Anthony Towns was a bad defender, maybe it's a lie. Maybe. But I do know that there are many clips where he is playing horrifically bad defense. And that number isn't just out of nowhere. They might be misjudging it, but they probably misjudging everyone's. And the fact that it's that high to begin with in any judgment scale, that's crazy. So how high would it be on you? When people try to score on you, is it easy or is it hard? All right, you want to make it as hard as possible. You don't need to block everyone's shot like he just blocked it right there. You don't need to take a charge every time. You need to have your chest to your defender to make it as tough as possible. So if they're trying to score with their left hand, make them score with their right. Trying to score with their right, make them score with their left. If they're trying to go one way, make them go the other way. If they want to shoot directly at the basket, make them turn their chest. That's it. All right, and you just make the percentage go down. All right, and it seems like Karl Anthony Towns is not doing that, or maybe it's a conspiracy theory. Maybe this is a real conspiracy theory. I don't know. All I know are numbers, and all I know is we need to do our homework. So are people doing their homework? You are what you do, not what you say you do. All right. This isn't all three playlists, but it's all right. I got two of them up there. All right. Are you doing your homework? All right. Here's the homework page. Here's what we got. All right. Who's doing this in the dark? Who is that? Who's this person in the dark? Weston in the dark. All right, doing the lots of cones in the dark. Let's check that out. Wait, did he just put the camera on and not working out at all? Oh, that's a real good trick, Weston. Yeah. So you're supposed to a little bit. Okay, I see you, Mello. So Weston's putting stuff. Okay, there's some light. Okay, I'm about to say maybe Weston's just lying to us by going, yeah. Here's me, and he just puts the camera on the outside court, and he doesn't really work out. Maybe add some dribbling noise. Yeah, right, buddy. You know what? I should get like a program that lightens up the screen so I can see if he's really working out. But, that's better than nothing. I'll take it. Good job. All right, our last thing, let's pause that real quick. Our last thing is this thing. Okay, this is a tournament that we went to a while back. All right, hear the story out because it's a fun one. Okay, we got our butts handed to us. All right, handed to us by it was a lot. It was by Tristan Thompson and LeBron James youth basketball team from Cleveland, and they played us. Their 8th grade team played against us, and of course you know how I roll. We had our 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders together. Okay, only a couple of 8th graders because 8th graders hate doing that, right? And we played against this team, all black team, pretty tall, whatever, right? And as we played them, they got extra hyped. They pressed the crap out of us, and they never pulled off the press. And I just kept yelling. I was like, keep going, keep going. We had Finley out there as a 5th grader, trying her hardest. We had Ian Salmon, our leader in attendance history, out there as a 6th grader. He got the ball stolen from him like 9 straight times. I said, keep going. And he's been in my program forever. So he was like, yeah. And he kept going, ball stolen. Kept going, ball stolen. Kept going, ball stolen. I'm like, keep going, keep going. After the 9th or 10th straight steal, I was like, great job. Come out the game. Come out the game. He comes over to the bench. The player that was guarding him followed him over to the bench, and not until he sat down on the bench, the players went like this. He was like, oh, oops, my bad. And then he went to go find his man. They were trying to kick the crap out of us, beat us by 70 or so. Then after the game, they all came up to us, and they were so excited. They gave us hugs, high fives, and their coach spoke to our whole team, and he was like, this is what we did to become great. You guys are doing what we did. And they were so happy that the coach gave us like his business card. He was like, please come over to Cleveland to play in our tournament. You guys are amazing. You guys are going to be as good as we are. They were one of the top teams in the country. And they were so happy that we were doing what they did. There's one thing that they didn't know though. We aren't the same guys. All right, those players were doing that because I made them do it. Maybe that's what happened to them too, but they did. But they're the ones that stuck. Just the greatest teams, though. So bear with it, keep going, and it just reminded me of that, guys. Y'all gotta get through this, and it'll be great for you. So trust me on the process, and trust me that this is the quote of the day. All right, never forget about your passion and keep moving forward. I'll see you guys tonight. Cue my music so I can get out of here. Peace, guys.